the 3 key questions you need to ask. So at any level, so for example, you, Mike, if you are looking at your marketing effectiveness and you're saying whether I'm doing social media, is it creating enough brand value? Is it creating enough know-how? So the first thing to figure out, the first question you need to ask is, how am I doing? How do I measure how am I doing? So that goes to figuring out the top KPIs for you. Or the same for, if I go back to the $10 million customer, the average revenue, 10 million electronics e-commerce, they'll ask the same question, how am I doing? Or how do I measure how am I doing? It's the same for Verizon customer care. How am I doing? How do I measure how am I doing, right?
It's so such a foundational, great question to be asking.
Right.
Such a key question, but and it sounds so simple, but like if you don't know your current data, how you're currently doing, like you can't move from there. You're not going to grow.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't know how am I doing, for example, if you ask me, or if I go back to my hiking example, my buddy whom I hike with, and I ask him, how are you doing? It has many answers, right? I'm doing very well. My body mass index is this. Is that relevant to his training for Everest or Whitney? No.
Right.
Maybe, but most likely, maybe not. I don't know. But basically, as a metric, what he's interested at that point is what's his average time per mile, maybe what's his average pace is, what's his VO2 max is, what's his max heart rate is, and all of those things. But in all of this, still, there is one key metric or one or two max key metrics that we should be sort of interested in. So it should not be like a plethora of metrics. I'm also interested in this. I'm also measuring my success with this and blah, blah, blah. It needs to be one or two key metrics. So for example, for going back to Verizon customer care, I think their top line metric probably is going to be cost, right? And there's going to be, how do I drive my cost down, or sort of a cost? And then the question would be, in that same, how am I doing? The question would be, what drives cost? For our e-commerce, $10 million e-commerce electronics company, maybe it's profit, or maybe it's growth. It could be different, right? Depending on what, and maybe it is profit and growth. That's fine. So the question then would be, okay, what drives profit for you? Profit is revenue minus cost minus loss. Okay, great. Now you're doing the math there. And then there might be some dotted line. And for Verizon customer care, it will be revenue minus cost minus loss, maybe if it is looking at profit, but it also will be brand image, right? So there's a dotted line from that brand image to the top metric you're going for. And also there's some solid line, which is pure math. Then the question is, what drives revenue for you? Then the question, and so you see what I'm saying? So you start with, how am I doing, defining one or two key metrics that you were going to measure your success with, depending on what you're trying to do. And then create the driver metrics and understanding of the driver metrics from there on. So that's the first question you ask, how am I doing? And the answer to that is measurement portfolio, creating your measurement framework. Okay, by the way, before I go, and this, I've carefully placed this book.
I see it. Beautiful.
Yeah. This has a leadership section. I think section 2 or 3 is a leadership section, and that has these 3 key questions in there.
Okay, and for those listening to the podcast, the name of the book is called Behind Every Good Decision.
Yes, and it became an Amazon bestseller last year and still holding up.
That is awesome. Congratulations. Right? That is so cool.
Yes. So how am I doing? That's the first question. Second question is sort of related to what we were talking about. What sort of drives how am I doing? Now we are looking at what drives am I doing, those drivers in different contexts. What's the 2x2 of your profit and growth? What's your 2x2 of your product by cost? What's your 2x2? So you're starting to look at your product portfolio or your customer portfolio. So how am I doing? What drives am I doing? That's the second question. And then the third question is, who are my customers and what are their needs? Because we can all go home unless we are serving our customers. In each of our roles, we are serving our customers. So that means I need to understand who are my customers. We need to find some ways of simple or more complex segmentation, their lifetime value, and so on. And then what are their needs? Do they have different needs? Even if you were to do your customer segmentation, for example, on value and frequency, you would get some kind of 2x2. And on that, you can figure out these are highest value but very low growth, or very highest value but whatever your second metric is. And you can start figuring out, oh, this customer set is really, really high value but not growing. Why is that? Or this customer set, or whatever else. So we start understanding your customer in a better way. Oh, this there is a customer set which has a very high need. For example, for this 10 million e-commerce company, this customer set has a lot of refund, because they have a very high need of customer touch point. They need, once they get their electronic cord or part, they need actually installation. Once you understand that, you can start offering that installation bundling to those customers and not to others, and actually charging them, right? So it's the same that you would do, and then same for customer care as well. Hey, you actually, when this and this and this happens, truck rolls happen, and truck rolls cost us, every truck roll cost us, $200, whatever else. And so all of that you can start finding out when you ask these questions. And when you ask these questions, you get some answer, but you don't ask them and you're done for the day. You ask them, you get some insights, and then it's like, basically, if you're hiking down the canyon, essentially, and you see these three questions once, and then you revisit them, you'll get a more detailed answer. And you revisit them, you'll get more detailed answer. And this is how you're going to know. Once you start knowing these are the questions, then you'll know, oh, actually, what's important for me is refund. I need to focus on that, because if I'm able to move my refund percentage from, right now it's at 3%. If I'm able to move it from 3% to 2%, I will save $1 million there, right? That's how you identify your top projects, because you have just started going from your top metric to what drives those top metrics, and understanding your customer, and you're putting your analytics, and we call this analytics agenda. You're making your analytics agenda, the questions you want to ask, in the context of what you're trying to do, what the KPIs you're driving towards.
Those are fantastic questions. I'm like taking notes here, writing them all down, because I really, really like them. They're really, really good. And like you said, they require a lot of thought, because when you officially think about it, you might have a gut reaction to just answering it. But then you really spend your time thinking about those questions and how it relates to your business or the things you're doing. And like you said, revisiting that question and thinking about it, like, you're going to get more precise with your answer, which is going to then, like you said, help you develop that really crucial KPI that is actually driving results for your business, for yourself.